First, consider the defining features of the Middle Ages. A feudal system, the dominance of the church, limited technological advancement by modern standards, and a predominantly agrarian economy. Social hierarchies were rigid, and most people lived in rural settings, with cities being few and far between. If the Middle Ages never ended, we might still be living in feudal societies, where power is highly localized, and lords govern lands granted to them by kings or other sovereigns. The concept of nation-states, as we know them, might not exist, or they would be very different, possibly more fragmented with overlapping jurisdictions and loyalties. Technologically, the world would likely be vastly different. The Industrial Revolution, which spurred immense technological and social change, might never have occurred. This likely means that many modern conveniences, like automobiles, airplanes, and the internet, would not exist. We might still rely on horse-drawn carriages for transportation, and communication would depend on written correspondence or word of mouth. The church, or religious institutions, could maintain significant influence over societies, dictating moral codes and educational content. This could translate into a slower pace of scientific development, as religious dogma might overshadow empirical inquiry. However, it's possible that some innovations would still occur through trial and error, contributing to incremental change rather than revolutionary shifts. Economically, agrarianism would dominate, with most people working the land. Trade would likely be local, with some long-distance trade conducted through established routes. This could keep societies relatively insular, with less cultural exchange than in our globally connected world. Socially, the rigid class structures of the Middle Ages might persist. Mobility between classes would be restricted, and people's lives would be defined by their birth and social position. Education might be limited to the elite, perpetuating existing power structures. Healthcare would also be different, potentially relying on traditional remedies and the guidance of community healers. The absence of modern medicine could significantly impact life expectancy and population growth. Art and culture might retain a strong connection to religious themes, with patronage from the church or nobility dictating the subjects and styles of artistic expression. However, localized folk traditions could flourish, creating diverse regional cultures within the constraints of the overarching medieval framework. Politically, the absence of democratic institutions would mean governance by nobility or monarchy, with decisions made by a few in power. This could lead to stability in some areas, but also to stagnation, as innovation and reform might be limited. However, it's also possible that over such a long span of time, pressures for change from within might gradually transform these medieval structures. Social movements, spurred by events like famines or uprisings, could introduce new ideas and adaptations, though slowly and unevenly across different regions. In this prolonged Middle Age scenario, the world would be a place where change happens at a glacial pace. While stability might be more pronounced due to deeply entrenched traditions, opportunities for advancement and innovation would be constrained by social structures and limited technological progression. This thought experiment underscores how pivotal historical shifts, such as the Renaissance, the Enlightenment, and the Industrial Revolution, were in shaping the world we live in today. The Middle Ages lingering into modernity offers a glimpse into an alternate path of history, one where the threads of continuity overshadow the sparks of transformative change.